तो बड़ा आनंद आया सुन के। तो ये हमारे विपिन बिहारी प्रभु जी, आप सब इनको जानते हैं, फरीदाबाद से हैं, बहुत सुंदर प्रचार करते हैं। 2009 में इनको महाराज जी से दीक्षा मिली और बहुत ही कम उम्र से ये इन्होंने धाम अपनी दादी के साथ इन्होंने धाम के दर्शन करे और 10 सालों से ये श्रीमद् भागवत गीता का पाठ कर रहे हैं। बहुत कम उम्र, बहुत समय से, और कम उम्र से ही इनकी दादी जी ने इनको ये स्पिरिचुअल ज्ञान वगैरह सिखाया। और अभी ये लोग, ये प्रभु जी सभी वैष्णव की सेवा करते हैं। हमारे फरीदाबाद मठ में बहुत मुख्य भूमिका निभाते हैं, वहाँ पे कीर्तन करते हैं, कथा करते हैं। और कार्तिक परिक्रमा और नवदीप परिक्रमा भी ये बहुत सेवा करते हैं, कलेक्शन करके दोनों परिक्रमाएं बहुत अच्छी तरह से। और इसके बाद बहुत दिन से प्रचार कर रहे हैं। श्रीमद् भागवत का पाठ भी प्रभु जी करते हैं। 7 दिन का जो विधिवत कथा होती है वो भी प्रभु जी करते हैं। और इनकी ऐसी मंशा है कि जीवन भर गुरु वर्गों की और वैष्णव की सेवा करते रहें। और दूसरी तरफ हमारी दीदी यशोधरी दीदी हैं। हरे कृष्णा दीदी, सुनाई दे रहा आपको? कुछ बोल। हाँ, तो दीदी इंग्लिश में बोलेंगे, लंदन से हैं, लेकिन हिंदी थोड़ी थोड़ी बोलती हैं। आपको हिंदी समझ में आती है, राइट?
हाँ जी।
ठीक है, तो फिर मैं हिंदी में बोल दूंगा। तो हमारे यशोधरी हैं जो हिंदू परिवार से हैं, इंग्लैंड में, लंदन में। और सितंबर 2010 में इनकी उमा दीदी की कृपा से और श्रीमती श्यामा रानी दीदी की कृपा से गुरुदेव से दीक्षा हुई, यानी कि महाराज जी के जाने के कुछ ही समय पहले, उसी साल में। और इनकी कोशिश रहती है कि किसी भी तरह से वैष्णव की और गुरु की सेवा करते रहें। और इस समय ये कुछ समय से, काफ़ी समय से लंदन में प्रोग्राम चला रहे हैं हमारे श्रीपाद ईश्वरानंद प्रभु जी के साथ मिलके, जो कि पूरी दुनिया में देखा जाता है। और ना केवल हमारे संघ को बल्कि बाकी सभी संघों को जोड़ के ये लोग बहुत सुंदर प्रोग्राम करते हैं, अनेक अनेक टॉपिक्स रखते हैं और गुरुदेव की स्मृतियाँ तो रखते ही हैं, बल्कि इनको देख के हमें भी बहुत प्रेरणा मिली थी, क्योंकि पहले इन लोगों ने शुरू किया था और बहुत सुंदर तरीके से ये अपना कार्यक्रम चला रही हैं, बहुत अच्छी सेवा कर रही हैं। तो आज हमारा बड़ा सौभाग्य है। और आप सबको मैं एक और खुशखबरी बता दूं कि आप सब जानते होंगे कि यशोधरी दीदी और विपिन प्रभु, इनका सगाई हो चुकी है और बड़ी शीघ्र ही इनका विवाह होगा कार्तिक के बाद में, 21 नवंबर, राइट?
आप सब लोग आमंत्रित हैं। हाँ,
21 नवंबर को। तो ये बड़ी ही खुशखबरी है। दो भक्त जब मिलते हैं और परिवार में बनाते हैं तो इससे ज़्यादा आनंद की बात क्या हो सकती है। पूरा परिवार भक्तिमय हो जाता है। हमने अनेकों ऐसे उदाहरण देखे हैं आसपास, और मैं तो अपने घर में भी देखता हूँ बल्कि, कि बड़ा अच्छा रहता है इस तरह से भक्त लोगों का मिलना। तो आज हम इन दोनों से ही, हालांकि गुरुदेव से ज़्यादा समय के लिए नहीं मिले, फिर भी इनकी रियलाइजेशन काफ़ी है, मैं समझता हूँ, क्योंकि जो सेवा करते हैं उनको रियलाइजेशन होती है, तभी वो सेवा कर पाते हैं। तो इन दोनों की कम उम्र में काफ़ी अनुभूतियाँ हैं, एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं। तो उनको भी हम श्रवण करेंगे, किस तरह से गुरुदेव इनको प्रोत्साहित करते हैं, उत्साह देते हैं पल पल पर, किस तरह से अपने जीवन का एक मेन भाग सेवा में लगा पाते हैं, जो साधारण लोगों के लिए लगाना इतना आसान नहीं होता। क्योंकि इतनी कम उम्र में इतना ज़्यादा समय देना भजन के लिए ये कोई साधारण बात नहीं है। जब कि आम लोग स्कूल में, कॉलेजों में घूम रहे होते हैं, पिक्चर देख रहे होते हैं, मूवी देख रहे होते हैं, उस समय प्रभु जी और दीदी दोनों ही भजन में लगे हुए हैं और अपना जीवन को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं इस मार्ग पे। तो ये इसके लिए कैसे इनको प्रेरणा मिलती है, कहाँ से इनको बल मिलता है, क्या क्या गुरु जी ने इनके ऊपर कृपाएं करी, इनकी आदान प्रदान हुआ, उन सब के बारे में हम लोग श्रवण करना चाहेंगे। तो दीदी पहले आप बोलेंगे कि प्रभु जी बोलेंगे?
हाँ जी, मेरे से मैं छोटी सी बोलूंगी और उसके बाद
अगर आप कंफर्टेबल हो तो इंग्लिश में बोल सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
Is that okay? Because
Yes, it is fine. Yes.
okay, perfect. Thank you. I can start.
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं यत्किरिं यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणेति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। First of all, I'd like to offer my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my Guru Pad Padma Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astottara Sata Srimati Bhaktivedanta Narayana Gosvami Maharaj. And at the same time offer my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astottara Sata Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, the entire Rupanuga Guru Varga, the Sannyas Vrinda, the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present here in the past and in the future. I would like to offer my humble obeisances. Normally I'm sitting where Ajay Krishna Prabhu is sitting, and I'm not ever speaking. I prefer that position than the position to speak, because to speak, you're taking the representation of Srila Gurudev, and I don't think I can represent Srila Gurudev to the best. But somehow or another, it's happened like this, so I shall try to speak something. So firstly, I want to say that I'm unqualified to speak. This unqualification doesn't come from Srila Gurudev. This unqualification comes from myself, because Srila Gurudev is the mercy of qualification. He has everything and has given me everything. But because of my lack of endeavor, I am not qualified to speak. So actually, it's no wrongdoing of Srila Gurudev, but actually my own wrongdoing of not making endeavor. We hear in Damodar Lila, Mother Yashoda is trying to bind Krishna. And when she's trying to bind Krishna, she's, rushing around trying to chase him. Once she catches him, she takes the ribbon out of her hair and she tries to bind him, but her ribbon in her hair is too short. So then she endeavors to go and find other rope to bind Krishna, but all of the ropes, however, are two fingers too short. And eventually, after some time of endeavoring, she manages to bind Krishna. And Srila Gurudev explains, everyone's already heard this, but Srila Gurudev explains that what are those two fingers that are too short? And Gurudev explains that one is mercy and one is endeavor. So Gurudev is giving the mercy, just like a tree that is in the blazing sun provides shade. That is Srila Gurudev, or representing Srila Gurudev, and then there's me who's standing in the blazing sun, trying to, but it's my choice to whether to go under the tree or to continue standing in the blazing sun. So unfortunately, right now, I am standing in the blazing sun and not taking the shade, and taking the shade of Srila Gurudev's mercy. So this is my own fault. So I'm endeavoring, I say I'm endeavoring, but I'm actually not even endeavoring, so what to speak. So I was wondering what to speak about Srila Gurudev, because I only met him once. And if I can explain my pastime of meeting him, maybe you understand the glories of Srila Gurudev through that. In 2009, my brother Satyaraj Prabhu met with Srila Gurudev in the Italy festival, where he took Harinam and Diksha from Srila Gurudev. And my brother came back and he said to me that you've got to meet Srila Gurudev. So I actually wasn't Krishna conscious at all. I was born into a Hindu family which worships Devi, and we honor her. We've actually got two temples, one for her and one for Radha Krishna, Thakurji. And actually that was everything that I knew. I didn't know Krishna. Actually, being in a Hindu family, I didn't really know who Radha Krishna was. So anyways, my brother showed me a picture of Srila Gurudev, which I felt very attracted to. I felt something that was beyond conversation, beyond words. And continued to, but my brother said to me one thing, that if you want to meet Srila Gurudev, then you have to go to Vaishnavas and beg for their mercy, so that they can bring you to Srila Gurudev. So I said, okay. And I heard that at the Ganga Matas in London, that Srimati Uma Didi was coming to the temple. So I went to go and see her. And when I went to go and see her, I had never met her before. I felt connected and automatically prayed to her that she would allow me to meet Srila Gurudev one day. And I was very upset, because I don't know why I was very upset, but somehow or another she understood that some sincerity in my heart. And she said, don't worry, you'll meet him. And then the following week I heard that Srimati Shamarani Didi was also coming to meet with Srila Gurudev. So I said, okay, I will do the same thing. I will go and meet with Shamarani Didi first, and then ask for blessings, and then, continue. But this was a little bit different of a meeting. When I walked into the temple of Ganga Matas, Shamarani Didi came through the corridor of the temple, and she asked me if I was there for initiation. And I was really confused. I wasn't sure if she had the right person. But she said, oh, you're here for your initiation, you should come. And I said, no, Shamarani Didi, I'm just here for your blessings. But then everything kind of becomes a little bit of a blur. But someone is I never knew how to put tilak on. I had no etiquette. I used to wear, very ripped jeans and nothing. I didn't know how to do anything. So someone gave me the chadar. Someone put tilak on my head. Someone even gave me an offering plate to offer to Srila Gurudev, because I had nothing to give him. And still to this day, I have nothing to give him. So this offering plate is still very, very empty, unfortunately. But somehow or another, Gurudev is still very merciful to me. And so, and then Gurudev was performing his pastime of being sick in Delhi. And at this point, Srila Gurudev was having a nose feeder, a food tube up his nose, where he was being provided with food through his nose, and he was lying on his bed. And I met him through Skype. Actually, I've never physically met Srila Gurudev in a proximity of face-to-face, where I'm able to even have a conversation with Gurudev. This was my only meeting. But somehow or another, this is the right thing for me. My unqualification gave me no time with Srila Gurudev, but his mercy gave me some time with him. So this is how it went. And so the screen of the laptop went up, and at that time it wasn't no Zoom or anything like that. It was Skype, and Srila Gurudev, Shripad Mother Maharaji was on the screen, and Shripad Mother Maharaj asked, "Can you hear me?" Prajnath Prabhu was at the back, very sweet, very sweetly, and which the Shamarani Didi replied yes. And so there was 10 of us that was being initiated, and I believe we were the last 10 to be initiated in London via Skype, especially from the Ganga Matas. I don't think there was anyone else after that, but I might be wrong. And then Srila Gurudev came up on screen, and he was very, very ill at this point. He had no energy. And normally Srila Gurudev would give you your Harinam 3 times, but he only spoke it once to us, because he didn't have the energy. And then he told some of us that afterwards that Shamarani Didi would explain everything to us, and then they will continue with the other mantras, etc. So that's how I got initiated. I spoke this Leela because actually it's my 11-year anniversary coming up very soon in the next couple of weeks of being initiated by Srila Gurudev and getting my new birth from Srila Gurudev. Now, Gurudev could have easily, being in his sickness pastime, not given me any mercy. He could have easily left me and could have easily said that I'm not giving initiation to anyone. Because in 2010 December, Gurudev went into Samadhi. So it was, yeah, he saved me. He could have easily said, no, I'm ill, I don't want to. What are they gonna do? But somehow or another, Gurudev provided me with that. So for many years after Srila Gurudev's departure, physically, I used to cry a lot because I used to be like, oh, everyone else got so much association with Srila Gurudev, and what about me? What will happen to me because I have no association? And we hear Gurudev saying that when you sit in front of Sri Guru, the dust particles that emanate from his body emanate within your heart. So we hear this from Srila Gurudev and Shastra, but this was my misfortune. So I was thinking many years that, oh, I'm so unfortunate, I'm so unfortunate. And then 5 years later, I kept saying this, and my godsister, our godsister, Radhika Didi from London, sat me down and she said, how can you be unfortunate when Gurudev gave you everything in your Harinam and your mantras? And I understood then that actually how fortunate I am that Gurudev came to save me, even at the last time, even in his last moments of being present physically. So this is my motivation, my drive, my everything to do some seva for him. And we know that actually without serving the Vaishnavas, without serving his own body limbs, like Shripad Madhav Maharaji, Srimati Uma Didi, Shripad Maharaji, Shripad Sutanti Maharaji, the list goes on, including everyone that served Srila Gurudev, even a little bit. Gurudev said, even the dog that has served my Gurudev, I bow down to. And I took that within my heart. And I've always tried to do that. That's what motivates me, because I know that I can't serve Gurudev, but I know that if I serve the Vaishnavas and those that are guiding me and take shelter of them, then they will take me to Srila Gurudev, just like Srimati Uma Didi gave me her blessings to take me to Srila Gurudev, the same way, and Srimati Shamarani Didi, and all of the other Vaishnavas. And I sit here and look back on many of the things that have happened in my life, that without the Vaishnavas, I would be in a very different place. I would be in a place of complete materialistic darkness, which I would have suffered a lot. So the Vaishnavas, like Srimati Uma Didi, like Shripad Madhav Maharaji, and so many more, the list goes on, but they have been my foundation to be able to do something. They encourage me to not only serve the Vaishnavas, but to do my Harinam. I was speaking with Ashram Maharaj just recently, and he said, Seva is good. Your Seva is so good. You're building so much Sukriti. Very nice. But he said, if there's no Harinam, and you're not going in deep into Harinam, then you're not serving. Because that was the only instruction actually Srila Gurudev gave me. I can't say, everyone else got so many, like Yasodhari Prabhu got so many different instructions directly from Srila Gurudev. I'm sure Ajay Krishna Prabhu yourself would have also got direct instructions We know that Mother Prabhuji got direct instructions. We know that. Bon Maharaj, Siddhanti Maharaj, so many. But my instruction was to, and is always to do my Harinam first. And when Srila Gurudev gave us our Harinam, he gave us everything within that Harinam. There was no lack. There's no lack in anything that we do. And actually any Shastra that is referred, everything goes back to our Harinam. So this is the mercy of the Vaishnavas as an example, that by serving them, somehow or another, I'm managing to be in seva, and somehow or another, I'm being encouraged to do my Harinam. So this is their mercy, and I'm always indebted. You start to build a debt to all of the people that have helped you, the Ganga Mata Gaudiya Mata girls, Shamarani Didi, Oma Didi, Sripad Mata Maharaji, Sripad Bo Maharaji, Sripad Siddhanti Maharaji. And as time goes on, you meet more and more Vaishnavas, and your debt to them becomes more and more. Then you realize that this debt becomes like a mountain. And then you realize how tall this mountain is, that your hat, if you had a hat on your head, it would fall off. And then you realize the gravity and gratitude that you start to see in Srila Gurudev, that so much mercy without any consideration of where I was, what I was doing. I was at university, I was in my prime years. You know, that's where most people would spend a lot of their time, but still he didn't care of what I was doing. He was more, he looked at something else. Like in a black sheet, you see a white dot. So in a black sheet, you see that white dot, and that's what Gurudev saw, that white dot in my heart. He didn't see anything else around that dot, and that black is so powerful, it could cover the whole world, but still Gurudev found that one white dot. And this is the speciality and mercy of Vaishnavas, like our Gurudev. And I'm sure everyone can say this about their own Guru Pad Padma. I'm not saying nothing new, because all Vaishnavas, all gurus are merciful. They see this side of us that we wouldn't be able to see in anyone else. The other thing that Gurudev, that keeps me motivated into doing something for Srila Gurudev, is that I see the endeavor he put into preaching around the world. The endeavor he put in saving our lives. And actually, anyone in the West has a great homage and ownership to. We just know that it was Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada's appearance day a couple of days ago in Nandotsav. And Gurudev and Vipin Prabhu reminded me that the biggest gift that Nanda Maharaj gave the whole world was Srila Prabhupada, Srila Swami Maharaj. So anyone in the West especially, we have this great debt to Srila Prabhupada. And I'm saying this because we have a debt not only because of what he did, because I was in the West, I could have easily gone into no religion, because it's very easy to do that in the West. But he saved us into Krishna consciousness, but also laid the foundation. Now, those Vaishnavas that are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, again, we owe them so much. I owe them so much debt, because Gurudev came around the world and preached around the world because of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. He didn't come for me, actually. I'm a byproduct of their seva, their endeavor, their love, their affection to their Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I'm a byproduct of their mercy. So Gurudev came for them because he promised Srila Prabhupada that he would come And because they did so much for Srila Gurudev, if anyone wants to know, really, if anyone wants to know how to serve their Gurudev, they should take some inspiration from the Srila Prabhupada disciples. They left everything and anything, like the gopis left everything and anything for Krishna. The same way the disciples of Prabhupada left everything and anything for him. Like they were on drugs. People are like, we've got to remember the circumstance that they were on. The drugs is an addiction that you can't just snap out of. You can't just leave. But they left everything that they loved, their families, their homes, their money, their addictions, everything, and offered it to their Gurudev and said, we don't have no anything else to offer you but these things. And Srila Prabhupada took them and distributed it. And if we see this, and like I said, if we see the success of ISKCON now, it's the endeavor and the hard work of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada that they have so much given. And we're lucky, or I'm very lucky in London, that I'm surrounded by Srila Prabhupada disciples. So I'm so lucky to have them, because not only did they give see, the thing is, Srila Prabhupada, we disregard Srila Guru. The thing is, everyone thinks, oh, Srila Prabhupada gave basic. He didn't. He gave foundation. We know that. He gave the foundation of everything. But what Srila Prabhupada did was give everything in his books. And Gurudev decoded that book. He broke it down further. It's like Chatusloki Bhagavatam. It's only in 4 slokas. But Vedyasji broke it down to how many cantos? 18? So 21. I'm getting that wrong. I can't hear you. Put it. But we know that it was broken down further.
Yeah, 12 cantos. You should.
12. Okay,
12.
sorry. Yes, 12 cantos. I don't know why I'm thinking of 18. Thinking of
18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. So we see that in Ved Vyasji that he breaks this down further for us. And this is exactly what Srila Gurudev did. He broke that information down, the nectar of instructions. Gurudev says, he gives so much honor and love and respect to Srila Prabhupada. He said, everything is in these books, everything. And what did Gurudev do? He said, but I'm going to tell you what is it so I can break it down further. So that's what Srila Gurudev did. It's not like he reinvented the wheel. It's that love and affection that they had for each other, or have for each other, what enabled an expansion of the commentaries to keep continuing to run. Everyone has a specialism. Every Vaishnava has a specialism. Gurudev has his own specialism, but doesn't mean that the foundation, and I think this is a very important point that I started to see now that I'm doing a little bit more with other sanghas, is that even though they have their own specialism, their siddhanta and their love, their affection and their shanagati is the same, is not different. And it can never be different, because Guru Tattva is one. Everyone has their specialities. Everyone came at a certain time for a certain cause and purpose. Like we see Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. We see it as an example. He spent his life endeavoring in publication. He did everything in publication. And Thakurji Seva, that was his 2 specialities. We know this from many things that we've heard from Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. But to say that he doesn't know certain things about Ras, I don't think so. He knows everything. Or like Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, he came, he had to look at the situation around him and work according. But that doesn't mean that he didn't give everything. He gave everything, and everything was in his books. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the life of every Vaishnava. And Srila Gurudev gave Radha Dasyam a goal, but we, as I can speak for myself as as a direct disciple of Srila Gurudev, I get carried so much away with Radha Dasyam that I forget the foundational flaws, the foundation that I need to work on before I can even get to Radha Dasyam. I need to know that actually, who am I? Where am I going? Which sounds ordinary, but actually it's not ordinary. If we can sit and just ponder upon, actually, am I the soul? Am I someone that even identifies myself with the soul, or do I still identify myself with my mind and body? And that will give you the answer. So I'm saying all of this is just to I'm trying to glorify Srila Prabhupada in this as well, because they're non-different, but also Srila Prabhupada's appearance day is so recent, so I feel like inclined to somewhat owe homage to him. And actually, without glorifying other Vaishnavas, Gurudev would not be happy with me. That's one thing that I've learned. So we learn so many things from so many different Vaishnavas. I'm apologizing because I'm not referring to Brahman and giving evidence of this, but somehow you all understand that there is Brahman behind this, and I'm sure that if Vipin Prabhu can, as I'm speaking, is probably thinking of 100 slokas at a time that are running through his head to give Brahman. So this is the beauty of having Vipin Prabhu beside me, is that he's able to give the Brahman to all of my Harikatha. So please excuse me for not being able to provide that right now. And so I just wanted to speak about one other thing. As you can probably see, most people see that I am on the face of a lot of Bhakti Zoom Seva team programs, and this expansion has gone from strength to strength, and this should glorify Srila Gurudev, because actually, so I'll give you an example of how people think that myself and Yasodhari Prabhu do a lot of seva. But I know Yasodhari Prabhu does a lot of seva, but I don't. Because when we do certain programs, I have no clue how they manifest. I have no idea how they are manifesting. So for example, I think the first program that we did which was such a big program, was the 59-hour global glorification for Srila Gurudev, where we had devotees from around the world, including Radhanath Swami, come and glorify Srila Gurudev on our program for his 100th centennial year. And when we first did this project, our core center was Srila Gurudev and how to glorify him, because we want, I always wanted, and I always want, this is what motivates me, is that Gurudev's name becomes as big as a household name as Srila Prabhupada. I want that. I there's no stopping me in doing that, because I owe that to my Gurudev. I owe that at least to him, that everyone should know who Narayana Maharaj is, and everyone should know him in the sense of what he has given, rather than what he hasn't taught, for example, which we hear. But our motivation was that people should hear the glories of Srila Gurudev, because they're so unlimited and so glorious, and everyone around the world should hear them. So when we were doing this program, we were like, okay, we can get about 15, 20 devotees that can speak nicely. But you know, try, and we can get our sannyasi brindas, they're so merciful, they will come, we know that as well. But when we started to go further, add more and more people into this program, Gurudev somehow or another completely took over this whole program and manifested and inspired people to come. Like we were hearing, we got calls afterwards from this program saying that, because we invited some devotees, And devotees were saying that they were having dreams of Srila Gurudev saying, it's now your time to come and speak about me. So it's like Gurudev's working in the background and he's doing everything in the background. And we're just being the face of that background. And Yasodhara Prabhu said one important thing to me when we first started doing programs as big as this. He said that we should always remain the flute of Sri Guru. We should be so hollow that Gurudev's able to use us as instruments, just like so that he can do whatever he pleases. Because actually this is some real surrender. So actually, if you've noticed, you'll see that Yasodhananda Prabhu has more surrender. That's why Gurudev uses him much more than he uses me, because that he completely has given that seva aspect of himself to Srila Gurudev. And you can see in this example how Srila Gurudev uses him in every aspect to be able to use him in some seva. And recently we did a Guru Purnima festival with other acharyas, and we thought we wouldn't get other acharyas, sanghas to come and speak. But this is why I say that Gurudev and all the Vaishnavas are so merciful, because all of the other acharyas and all of the other sannyasis and senior disciples of other mats came and spoke on our program. And they spoke about their Guru Maharaj. And they felt honored. They felt honored. And Gurudev would do this. This is what was inspiring us, because Gurudev would honor every Vaishnav and every Acharya and every Sampradaya with so much awe and reverence that no one would ever walk away feeling dissatisfied by Srila Gurudev's presence. And we wanted to carry this mood. And we see this in so many times, many people that watch videos, Ajay Krishna Prabhu and so many others have directly seen how Gurudev honors Vaishnavas and everyone, not just, he doesn't matter who comes in front of him, he honors them with either love and affection, depending on how much they can handle. He will honor accordingly. And this is in the Bhagavad Gita, it says that also, like, whatever you provide, I will honor that, Krishna says, isn't it? And this is the same, but Gurudev gives more than what Krishna gives. Srila Prabhupada gives more than what Krishna gives. He gives double. You give him like 1 inch, he gives you 10 miles. And this is the mercy that they have, and Gurudev's taught us how to love and provide love and affection through everything that we do. Without love and affection, and we're just doing it because, whatever reason it is, without that love and affection, we're not really serving any Vaishnav, and we're not serving really Gurudev. Because love and affection carries everything. If I speak with love and affection, it's different to if I just demand, and I've learned this over time, and I've learned this through the inspiration of Srila Gurudev. I can't give you like Gurudev. I can't say to you like Gurudev comes in my dream and tells me, no, this and this is what I need you to do. It's not like that. Srila Gurudev just inspires. It's just a causeless mercy that comes through to the heart, and whatever he does, he does. There's no tactile version of how he provides that mercy. It's like when you meet a Mahabhagavad Vaishnav, there's no explanation of how, Vipin Prabhu can probably provide shastric knowledge of how you will know. But there's sometimes when you meet Vaishnavs, you have this, you just know you've met a Mahabhagavad. Like when I met with Srila Bhakti, sorry, I'm just laughing because Gurudev puts me on pressure. But Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, when I met him for the first time, I knew that he was something beyond this realm. But then you look at his, see, the thing is, you also look at their background and their life, and you see how much they're dedicated to their Guru Parampara. How much actually, if only one was to do something, then it wouldn't be as effective as so many doing something. So each of them, like we learned certain things from Srila Gurudev, and then Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj came along and taught us how to do seva. Gave us that inspiration to do seva. I mean, he certainly did for me, at least. He provided that because his life was dedicated to seva, and that was everything that he did was based on seva. And that seva included Harinam, that seva included deity worship, that seva included Vaishnav seva, that included everything.
So Didi, how many times did you meet Pujyapat Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj?
Just once as well.
And where was it?
In, it wasn't even physical. It was over Skype.
Oh.
Yeah.
I must say you're expert in Skype and computer. You're doing everything through this
that's why,
technology.
I think that's why I get seva.
Even now you're doing the seva through your laptop.
Yeah, hopefully soon when I move there, then it will be more physical association. But that's up to Gurudev. Yeah. But I mean, this is my misfortune. I don't get to physically meet the Vaishnavas, but I cannot say that their mercy is not with me, because it's forever with me. Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, I thought I never would have a connection with him until I met his sevaks, those that spent time with him, and their love and affection and the exchanges of words provided me with that relationship with Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. So I'm trying to glorify Gurudev, but without glorifying other acharyas and Vaishnavas. It's like not glorifying Gurudev at all, because they're all together as one. I probably deviated from the point of what I'm trying to even say, and probably lost. So I think I'm going to take my rest here. But I just want to say one thing, is that Gurudev is always manifesting in everyone's heart, like Srila Prabhupada is. You hear so many people that have cried in front of Srila Prabhupada and found Srila Gurudev just by praying to Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, sorry. It's the same for Srila Gurudev. I know so many god nephews and nieces that are never met Srila Gurudev, but they have so much love and affection for him, because Gurudev speaks to them as much as he speaks to us. Gurudev is not bound by time, space, and circumstance. Gurudev's got the magnitude of, there is, like Krishna, he has there's nothing that can limit him. And so somehow or another, I pray to not only I pray to Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada and the acharyas and Guru Parampara, that somehow or another they keep me in seva, they keep me under the protection of the Vaishnavas, and somehow or another one day, hopefully soon, I'll really be able to serve them through Harinam and serve them through the way that they want me to, and be able to grow in bhakti, because Gurudev always used to say, don't stay where you are, always grow. Don't be always kanishta, always grow to madhyam and furthermore. He's always said that to us. So that was it's a very important thing. So I pray to them that they always continue to glance with their loving glance on me, and somehow or another I'll be able to serve the Vaishnavas. I'll be able to serve Vipin Prabhu and not become an obstacle and one day be able to serve Srila Gurudev with my heart and be able to grow in bhakti. And yeah, that's all I have. Apologies for any mistakes that I have made. Any mistakes that you do here, they're all mine. Anything good you have heard is all Srila Gurudev, because he moves mountains. So Vancha Kalpatarubhisha Kripa Sindhu Bevicha Patadanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
I've heard everything so nice, so I think everything is from Gurudev, nothing from you. So it was really good. You expressed very bhavpurn with your mood, such nice mood. And I have seen that people who have not met Gurudev physically, they have so much love for him. I've seen so much more viraha and so much more bhav, because they always feel that viraha in their heart, which I can see through you also. And you talked about two finger shot Leela, about Bandhan, Damodar Leela. So yes, it's always one is from our side, one is from Guru. Guru is always very merciful, but we have to work. And you have understood all the concepts so nicely. I can see that at such a young age, it is amazing that you understood the importance of Vaishnavas, which is not very easy to understand. It takes a lot of time for a lot of people, but you are so lucky to understand and grasp and even bring it in your own life. I can see that you're following the concept of serving Vaishnavas. You're blessed by Uma, Didi, and Shamarani, and thus you got the Harinam. And you said your offering plate was empty, but now I see your plate full, totally full. And Gurudev is very happy to see your plate. And you're going to have many more plates like this to offer to him, I think. And you got your Diksha through Skype meeting. Gurudev can impart energy through any medium. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't even have to be Skype meeting. It doesn't even have to be any meeting at all. If you just read his books and if you are not connected at all, you just pray to him, you will invite his mercy. So as you said yourself, he's beyond time and space. So anytime, even after 100 years, you read his books and you invite him, he will come in your heart. So I can see that you have a lot of blessings from him. You are the last in to be initiated in London. So you are his youngest child. And the youngest child are very lovable to parents always. So he's got a lot of love for you. And it is so nice to hear this very important thing you said, debt of all the people who have helped you. This Gurudev used to insist so much. You should always feel gratitude towards everybody who has helped even a small amount. If you do not feel, then you cannot progress. This is very, very important. And you have said this very nicely, that you feel indebted to all the people. And you talked about the white dot which Gurudev saw in you. He sees white dot in everybody. He doesn't see all the black everywhere, because that's how Vaishnavas are. And he makes the white bigger, bigger, bigger. Eventually, the black one becomes a dot and the white occupies the whole space. So he's putting a lot of endeavor in saving our lives. Yes, he did and he saved so many people. And you expressed your indebtedness to Srila Prabhupada, which is where I think all of us are indebted to him in one way or another. Even the people who are living in India, the people who are in the West are obviously, it's very obvious that he was the only person who went first and helped everybody. But we also feel very indebted. A lot of us, we started from Bhagavad Gita office and then we came to Gurudev. So we also, all of us feel very indebted. And you talked about his disciples, how devoted they are even now, and they were that time. They left everything, drugs, home, family, yes. And this is what is required of a disciple for his Guru. Guru Tattva is one, you talked about that. And Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, you talked about, he did publication Archan. Actually, I heard this from his disciple, our Maharaji. His name I forgot. So he was talking once that Maharaj, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, he never wanted to do publication. He has no idea about publication. But when he went to his Gurudev, or Siddhanti Maharaj, he was talking about it once. Bhaktivedanta Siddhanta Maharaj. So his Gurudev ordered him, you should do publication. He said, I don't know anything. He said, no, you will know everything. So it was Gurudev's mercy that he became such expert in publication. Even though he had no idea, he had never done any publication, but he was expert in it. So this Gurudev's Ashirvad, his Shubhadrasti, or his glance, merciful glance on you can do wonders. It can do anything for you. Then you talked about Radha Dasam seems to be very high, but you have to know who am I and where am I going. I think who am I, where am I going are important, but they are eventually byproduct of your love for Krishna. It will come to you automatically. If you have love for Krishna, like the love we have for our own family and people around us in this world, if we develop similar kind of love also, it is very good. All this relation will come just as a byproduct of that, if we feel attraction towards Guru and Krishna. We cannot break our head over this, who am I, where am I going? And even if you do, we read a lot of books, still we'll not realize. We can just read from over it. Relation will only come when we have love for Krishna and Guru and Seva Pravati, which you already have so much. So we don't have to worry so much about it. These will manifest themselves. And I really loved this desire where you said you want to make Gurudeva a household name as Prabhupada. So nice. I think all of us should have this desire in our heart. I also have it. And we should do whatever we can so that his glory spread all over the world. That is our prime duty as a disciple, because he is indeed very glorious, and it is our duty to spread his glories all over the world. And then you are like flute of Shri Guru, you said very nice. If we are hollow, Gurudev can play tune on us. But if we are not hollow, then nothing will come out. Even if we try, nothing will come, because you have to remove our ahankar from us. And you are honoring acharyas from other sanghas. It's so nice. And this also you said a very nice statement. No one would ever walk away without satisfaction from Gurudev. Yes, that's so true. I've seen anybody will come. The pandas, the new people, the very elevated devotees of Swami Prabhupada, he would honor them so nicely. Everybody, they will feel satisfied. Oh, I met somebody nice today. No one will feel they'll not even a iota of that is not satisfied. Yeah. And love and affection, everything we do. This Gurudev has taught. He's written about this in the small booklet called Harmony, that we should do everything with love and affection, not with controlling attitude. And I'm so happy to see that you are following this in your daily life. And you know, but you can't say how you know. Mahabhagavat. This is a statement you made. It is so true, because a lot of things, we transmit so many messages through our body language, which we cannot define or say, but we already understand. Our subconscious mind always understands all these things. A small example for this body language is, if you go ask somebody on a road, where is that place? And if he says, oh, go and turn right, but he shows his left hand and he's saying turn right. So which one is correct? Whatever it says has no meaning. Whatever it shows has meaning. That is correct. You can try it sometime. I've seen it many times. So the hand is correct, because the body never lies. The body language normally never lies unless you train yourself to lie. But a lot of these police people, they study this body language, and they find when criminals talk and how they're moving their hands and things like that, they can make out. So yes, all the Mahabhagas will transmit through their body language and through other things that you'll know immediately. And you have talked about your association Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj through his disciples. So nice to hear all this, Didi, from you at such a young age. You have such good realization, such good seva vriti, which is even people with a lot of age do not, very difficult to have for them also. And I'm so happy that at a very young age you are entered into such realm of bhakti. We are doing so much seva. You are feeling separation from Gurudev. You are realizing his mercy, which is very important. It is our bhajan is nothing but realizing Gurudev's mercy. If you realize what mercy he had on us, that is what our bhajan is. And you're doing all of these things so nicely. And I'm so happy that you're going to be with Vipin Prabhu, who is also a very elevated devotee himself. And you can both progress very beautifully in this path. Thank you so much, Didi. My pranams to you.